every little moment, like a promise carved in gold. But you held our fragile future with a heart already cold. I felt you slipping softly, even when you said you'd stay. Your arms were wrapped around me, but your mind was miles away. I kept trying to believe you, try to read between the lines, but love shouldn't feel like trying all the time. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were giving me the wind. I was loving you completely, you were halfway to the end. You almost chose to need me, but you never really did. I was holding on to love you couldn't give. You said you weren't ready, but I saw the truth inside. You were scared of being shattered, so you kept your feelings tight. I tried to meet you gently, tried to show you what was real, but you can't touch forever when someone's scared to feel. I kept waiting for a moment where your heart would finally choose, but some people only show a love they'll lose. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were giving me the wind. I was loving you completely, you were halfway to the end. You almost chose to need me, but you never really did. I was holding on to love you couldn't give. Maybe you'll remember when the quiet feels too loud, that someone tried to love you when you couldn't say it out. But I can't wait forever for a fear you won't outgrow. I lost myself in someone who couldn't let me know. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were giving me the wind. I poured my soul into a story you refused to let begin. You almost tried to love me, but almost isn't enough to live. So I'm letting go of all the love you couldn't give. Stop saying I love you long before you spoke goodbye. Your smile turned into distance, your touch began to lie. I felt the cold between us every night you faced the wall. Love shouldn't feel like begging for someone who can't fall. And I kept watching in the dark, hoping you would hear my heart, but you were already far. You left me in the silence, where the truth was loud and clear, where your absence filled the spaces you once held so near. You didn't break me suddenly, it was slow and quiet and cruel. The moment your love went silent was the moment I lost you. I tried to trace the moment when your feelings lost their name. Was it something I stopped being, or something you couldn't tame? You drifted like a shadow, growing lighter every day. I reached out just to hold you, but you kept fading anyway. And I kept fighting for a spark in the ashes of your eyes. But love can't live in lies. You left me in the silence, where the truth was loud and clear, where your absence filled the spaces you once held so near. You didn't break me suddenly, it was slow and quiet and cruel. The moment your love went silent was the moment I lost you. Maybe you thought keeping quiet would soften all the pain, but silence hurts much deeper than any words could ever name. I would have loved you fiercely, but you didn't let me try. You slipped out of my future without ever telling why. You left me in the silence, where the memories start to burn, where the pieces of our story still ache for your return. You didn't shatter all at once, you just slowly came untrue. And I broke inside the moment your love went quiet too. I felt a shift inside your heartbeat long before you said a word. Your promises turned hollow, your I love you sounded blurred. I kept trying to ignore it, told myself it wasn't true, but your eyes gave every answer that your voice refused to do. And I held on to the pieces long after they turned sharp, trying to save a dying spark. This is the love you took back, the one you left out in the cold. You pulled away so slowly I forgot how not to hold. You walked me to the ending and pretended not to know. You broke me long before the day you let me go. You said you needed breathing room, but you were breathing without me. Every step you took in silence was a step toward being free. And I kept stitching every moment, trying hard to make us whole. But you can't fix a heart that's breaking, for a love that's lost control. And I gave you every warning, every tear I couldn't hide. You still chose the other side. This is the love you took back, the one you left out in the cold. You pulled away so slowly, I forgot how not to hold. You walked me to the ending and pretended not to know. You broke me long before the day you let me go. Maybe someday you'll remember all the love I tried to give, all the ways I stayed and fought when you'd forgotten how to live. But I can't keep falling deeper into someone growing small. I deserve a heart that stays, not one waiting to withdraw. This is the love you took back, the one you swore would never fade. You turned forever into echoes of a promise you unmade. And though I'll always miss you, there's one truth I finally know. You were gone long, long before you let me go. Between us growing like a distance in your eyes. You were here but somehow leaving, a slow unraveling of lies. I asked you if you loved me, you just smiled and looked away. And I knew right in that moment you'd already slipped away. I kept reaching for your hand, but you kept pulling from my touch. I guess I loved you too much. The day you stopped trying was the day my heart broke clean. You didn't have to say a word, your silence said everything. You let our forever crumble like it never meant a thing. That's what we lost in silence, when you stopped trying to love me. You used to meet my hurting with a warmth I can't forget, but now your comfort feels like a memory soaked in regret. I beg for just a moment, one more chance for us to mend. But loving someone who's halfway gone is a war you never win. And I kept fighting for the truth while you were fighting not to feel. I guess goodbye was already real. The day you stopped trying was the day my heart broke clean. You didn't have to say a word, your silence said everything. You let our forever crumble like it never meant a thing. That's what we lost in silence, when you stopped trying to love heart no longer mine. I'd have carried all your burdens if you just let me inside. But you closed the door so softly, I didn't know you'd said goodbye. The day you stopped trying is the day I had to see you can't hold on to someone who's already breaking free. You let tomorrow disappear while yesterday still clings. That's what we lost in silence when you stopped trying to love me. I gave you all the pieces of a heart that once was strong. You held them for a moment, then you left like nothing's wrong. I waited for your honesty, but all you gave was doubt. A love that never settled and a silence wearing out. And I kept giving more just to feel you giving less. Love shouldn't feel like this. I was falling without you, even while you held my hand, reaching for a future you were scared to understand. I trusted what you whispered, but your promises were cheap. I lost myself in loving the heart you didn't keep. You said you needed time, but time just led you further out. You built a world without me while I drowned in every doubt. I begged for something real, you gave me walls I couldn't climb. You left me in the wait until I ran out of time. And I kept searching you in the shadows of your eyes, trying to believe your lies. I was falling without you, even while you held my hand, reaching for a future you were scared to understand. I trusted what you whispered, but your promises were cheap. I lost myself in loving the heart you didn't keep. Maybe you were broken, maybe I was just too true. Maybe love can save a soul that never learned what love can do. But I kept choosing forever, you kept choosing not to feel. And now I'm letting go of a love that wasn't real. I was falling without you, trying hard to stay alive, holding on to something you'd already left behind. You could have stayed and saved us, but the cost to you was deep. So I'm finally letting go of the heart you didn't keep. kept every little moment like a promise carved in gold, but you held our fragile future with a heart already cold. I felt you slipping softly, even when you said you'd stay. Your arms were wrapped around me, but your mind was miles away. I kept trying to believe you, try to read between the lines, but love shouldn't feel like trying all the time. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were giving me the wind. I was loving you completely, you were halfway to the end. You almost chose to need me, but you never really did. I was holding on to love you couldn't give. You said you weren't ready, but I saw the truth inside. You were scared of being shattered, so you kept your feelings tight. I tried to meet you gently, tried to show you what was real, but you can't touch forever when someone's scared to feel. I kept waiting for a moment where your heart would finally choose, but some people only show a love they'll lose. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were giving me the wind. I was loving you completely, you were halfway to the end. You almost chose to need me, but you never really did. I was holding on to love you couldn't give. Maybe you remember when the quiet feels too loud. Did someone try to love you when you couldn't say it out? But I can't wait forever for a fear you won't outgrow. I lost myself in someone who couldn't let me know. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were giving me the wind. I put my soul into a story, you refused to let me begin. You almost tried to love me, but almost isn't enough to live. So I'm letting go of all the love you couldn't give. You stopped saying I love you long before you spoke goodbye. Your smile turned into distance, your touch began to lie. I felt the cold between us every night you faced the wall. Love shouldn't feel like begging for someone who can't fall. And I kept whispering in the dark, hoping you would hear my heart, but you were already far. You left me in the silence where the truth was loud and clear, where your absence filled the spaces you once held so near. You didn't break me suddenly, it was slow and quiet and cruel. The moment your love went silent was the moment I lost you. I try to trace the moment when your feelings lost their name. Was it something I stopped being? was something you couldn't tame. You drifted like a shadow, growing lighter every day. I reached out just to hold you, but you kept fading anyway. And I kept fighting for a spark in the ashes of your eyes. But love can't live in light. You left me in the silence where the truth was loud and clear, where your absence filled the spaces you once held so near. You didn't break me suddenly, it was slow and quiet and cruel. The moment your love went silent was the moment I lost you. Soften all the pain, but silence hurts much deeper than any words could ever name. I would have loved you fiercely, but you didn't let me try. You slipped out of my future without ever telling why. You left me in the silence where the memories start to burn, where the pieces of our story still ache for your return. You didn't shatter all at once, you just slowly came untrue. And I broke inside the moment your love went quiet too. I felt the shift inside your heartbeat long before you said a word. Your promises turned hollow, your I love you sounded blurred. I kept trying to ignore it, told myself it wasn't true, but your eyes gave every answer that your voice refused to do. And I held on to the pieces long after they turned sharp, trying to save a dying spark. This is the love you took back, the one you left out in the cold. You pulled away so slowly, I forgot how not to hold. You walked me to the ending and pretended not to know. You broke me long before the day you let me go. You said you needed breathing room, but you were breathing without me. Every step you took in silence was a step toward being free. And I kept stitching every moment, trying hard to make us whole. But you can't fix a heart that's breaking for a love that's lost control. And I gave you every warning, every tear I couldn't hide. You still chose the other side. This is the love you took back, the one you left out in the cold. You pulled away so slowly, I forgot how not to hold. You walked me to the ending and forgotten how to live, but I can't keep falling deeper into someone growing small. I deserve a heart that stays, not one waiting to withdraw. This is the love you took back, the one you swore would never fade. You turned forever into echoes of a promise you unmade. And though I'll always miss you, there's one truth I finally know: you were gone long before. Let me go. I felt the world between us growing, like a distance in your eyes. You were here but somehow leaving a slow unraveling of lies. I asked you if you loved me, you just smiled and looked away. And I knew right in that moment you'd already slipped away. I kept reaching for your hands, but you kept pulling from my touch. I guess I loved you too much. The day you stopped trying was the day my heart broke clean. You didn't have to say a word, your silence said everything. You let our forever crumble like it never meant a thing. That's what we lost in silence when you stopped trying to love me. You used to mean my hurting with a warmth I can't forget, but now your comfort feels like a memory soaked in regret. I begged for just a moment, one more chance for us to mend, but loving someone who's halfway gone is a war you never win. And I kept fighting for the truth while you were fighting not to feel. I guess goodbye was already real. The day you stopped trying was the day my heart broke clean. You didn't have to say a word, your silence said everything. You let her forever crumble like it never meant a thing. That's what we lost in silence when you stopped trying to love me. Maybe you were tired, maybe love ran out of time, but you left me with the echoes of a heart no longer mine. I'd have carried all your burdens if you just let me inside, but you closed the door so softly. I didn't know you'd say goodbye. The day you stopped trying is the day I had to see. You can't hold on to someone who's already breaking free. You let tomorrow disappear while yesterday still cleans. That's what we lost in silence when you stopped trying to love gave you all the pieces of a heart that once was strong. You held them for a moment, then you left like nothing's wrong. I waited for your honesty, but all you gave was doubt. A love that never settled, and a silence wearing out. And I kept giving more, just to feel you giving less. Love shouldn't feel like this. I was falling without you, even while you held my hand, reaching for a future you were scared to understand. I trusted what you whispered, but your promises were cheap. I lost myself in loving the heart you didn't keep. You said you needed time, but time just led you further out. You built a world without me, while I drowned in every doubt. I begged for something real, you gave me walls I couldn't climb. You left me in the waiting, till I ran out of time. And I kept searching you in the shadows of your eyes, trying to believe your lies. I was falling without you, even while you held my hand, reaching for a future you were scared to understand. I trusted what you whispered, but your promises were cheap. I lost myself in loving the heart you didn't keep. Maybe you were broken, maybe I was just too true. Maybe love can't save a soul that never learned what love can do. But I kept choosing forever, you kept choosing not to feel. And now I'm letting go of a love that wasn't real. I was falling without you, trying hard to stay alive, holding on to something you'd already left behind. You could have stayed and saved us,